Alright, time for the steel cutter. That's 9 exact. Woohoo! That was exact lethal. What up, gang? It's Mang. I'm back on Arena. We are doing another standard video today. Let me break down the Cori-Steel Cutter prowess deck. So this is an Is-It deck that's spell slingy. You're going to be casting a bunch of cantrips and really using and abusing Cori-Steel Cutter. This is the new rare from Tarkir Dragonstorm that is taking the competitive constructed scene by storm. It is a multi-format breaker here. It's an equipment where the creature gets +1/+1 in trample and haste, but that's not the good part. The good part is below with flurry, which means when you cast your second spell on the turn, you create a 1/1 white monk creature token and with prowess, and you may equip this immediately to the creature, giving it trample and haste. So you're basically making a 2/2 with trample and haste, flooding your board out nice and wide. You're getting trample damage in, and all our creatures in here are going to complement the steel cutter and really make it shine. Let's get into the rest of the deck here. I'll play some games. I'll post the deck list in the description so you can try it out for yourselves. Starting in the 1-drop slot, we have a single copy of Into the Floodmaw, hit all instant, where we can remove a permanent from the battlefield, return it back to its opponent's hand. Good for bouncing tokens, creatures, and aggressive decks. We have 4 copies of Opt. This is one of the cantrips of choice here, where you're able to scry one before drawing the card at instant speed. We want to play a lot of these cheap cantrips so that we are reloading our hand, digging for the steel cutter or pressure on the board, maybe a stock up. Opt is a great solution here at the 1-drop spot. 2 copies of Spell Pierce. Spell Pierce is back in the mix. It finally has a nice home here because we are trying to win the game by turn 4 or 5 ideally, and this puts our opponent on the back foot just enough for them not to interact with our board. This is a good 1-mana spell to keep up on your opponent's turn. 4 copies of the tried and true Storm Chaser's Talent. We make the 1/1 otter with prowess. We can even buy back some of our spells late game to kind of push for that extra monstrous rage if we need it, or push damage with burst lightning, or reload our hand with the stock up. Storm Chaser's Talent just provides so much flexibility in this deck. Play set of Burst Lightning, really can't go wrong here. Cheap spell for us to push damage in, remove blockers, clean up the remaining toughness on creatures post-combat. You really can't go wrong with this card here. Another play set of Swift Spears. We've seen this one for years now. This is a perfect turn 1 play. Start putting pressure on your opponent and growing it with prowess. 4 copies of Monstrous Rage. It's not banned. It's going to stay in red decks everywhere. Get used to it. 4 copies of one of my favorite cards. I opened 4 copies of these in my first ever sealed pool in Outlaws of Thunder Junction, believe it or not. Not that good in the limited space, but the Slick Shot show-off is back. We finally have a good complement for double spells. Plot keyword here is very important. We're able to line up some combo plays where we plot the Slick Shot, play the Steel Cutter, then play the Slick Shot, and then pump and dump our hands and just get in for maximum damage. Slick Shot has a place in this deck and it really shines. 4 copies of Wren's Resolve, another common that plays really well into this deck here. Impulse, so you get for 2 mana, you're able to exile the top 2 cards in your library, and you may play those cards until the end of your next turn. So it helps us hit land drops, it helps grow our creatures with prowess, as well as find the action that we need in a timely manner. And then stock up. This uncommon is going for $12 now on TCG Player. It is the 3rd most expensive card in Aether Drift, if you look at the price guide. So if you're opening play boosters, take a look at your bulk, take a look at the rest of the pack. Don't overlook these stock ups, but look at the top 5 cards, put 2 of them into your hand, and just keep finding the action that you need. Mana base, you're running all the fast lands and 1 Restless Spire. Another way to get some damage in late. Let me move my face. We can talk about the sideboard now. Sideboard's a little interesting. This is a work in progress, but we have 1 copy of Dive Down. This is protection spell, so 1 mana, you get target creature gets +0/+3, gains hexproof until end of turn. So it's a good way to protect our Slick Shot show-offs when they are, 9 power. And we want to make sure this damage gets in. You want to maybe protect them from imminent removal if you expect it from your opponent. Dive Down's a good card here. A 2nd copy of Into the Floodmaw. Maybe our opponent's creatures, like against Golgari, our Burst Lightnings are not going to get the job done. So Into the Floodmaw is another option here. 2 copies of Lithomantic Barrage, very good against Jeskai Oculus, Beza, you know, those blue-white decks that we need to deal with those threats. And then 2 copies of Ghost Vacuum. If opponents are running graveyard shenanigans like Oculus, that Rakdos Reanimator deck. I made a video on that one. I think that deck has a place in the meta here. It's going to keep getting better. You're going to need graveyard hate, so 2 copies of Ghost Vacuum. We have a negate in here if our opponent's not really playing creatures, so we need to, you know, react to board wipes, react to instant removal. Negate's another protection option here, along with Spell Pierce, which we already talked about, and then a playset of Torch the Tower. So in the red aggro decks with all the Heartfire heroes going around, Torch the Tower is a great exile effect if you need to make sure your opponent doesn't get death triggers. So we have these to lean onto in those creature heavy matchups. And then 2 copies of Sunspine Lynx, very good against Domain, Overlord, those green Overlord decks with the Anywhere lands. You can really hit for, you know, pop for 8 to 10 damage late game, and your opponent can't gain life too. So nice little benefit here. You're going to want to have access to 2 of these in the sideboard. All right, that's going to do it for the deck tech. Like I said, deck list will be in the description. Try it out for yourselves, and I'm going to get into the gameplay. We're going to play probably 3 best-of-3 matches, try to showcase some of the power of the Steel Cutter here. And yeah, I'll see you in game 1. Before we get into game 1 here, make sure you hit like and subscribe on the video. I appreciate all the support from you guys. I read all the comments. I'm really enjoying putting out this standard content. Just show some love in the algorithm here, and I'll keep making the videos. All right, on the play. Let's get a good hand here. Not the best opener, but we got Storm Chasers, so we'll try it. If we draw another land, we're probably in trouble. We need some card draw. There we go. We'll take a Ren's Resolve. Opponents on blue-white. This looks like Azorius Control, maybe. Swift Spear is good enough for me. Nothing fancy here. We're just playing stuff and swinging. Probably gonna get Ride's End. Elspeth Smite, yeah. Could buy back Ren's Resolve, but I think we just keep the pressure on while we can. Yeah, figured as much. I'm gonna hang on to 1 more of these actually. I think these tokens are gonna be pretty important here. So let's use these here. Yeah, we want that. Should we grow it again? Yeah, I guess. Alright, this might get countered, but that's alright. No, we're good. Alright, this is where the otter goes. Yeah. Okay, not great. We might lose everything here if it gets countered. Yeah. A little too obvious. It's alright though, we're like one steel cutter away. And honestly, I might just bump this up next turn now. We leveled this up to level 3, we can make otters on every instant sorcery. That looks like the move here. He's used 2 get lost already. If he had one more, that'd be a shame. It's a lot of stock up though. Alright. Yeah, we'll take another. I'll just pay the 3. I'm actually gonna pass. Because I'm assuming he's gonna wipe these, yeah. Oh, we lose this though too. Yeah, there's no way around this, huh? Yeah, that's bad news. Alright, not looking good for your boy here. Might have to go to game 2. Alright, let's see if we can get this Swift Spear to stick around. Nope. Can't counter that. Yeah, a lot of River Regent lately in these control decks. Card's great. Yeah, the Fountain Port's gonna probably lock it up. Alright, I've seen enough. We'll go next. Alright, so we don't really want the bursts. I think we want the negates. We want the dive down. We could try to stick a Lynx. I wonder if Floodmaw's worth. Yeah, we'll try it. Hand looks decent. Rather than get one in, I'm just going to play the Spire. Plot our Slick Shot. This one should be good. quick 11. We're going to animate the spire and just hold up. Oh. Yeah, can't do anything about that. Alright, there we go. Maybe we'll run the third spell pierce. Ooh, we got the cutter. So the cutter's a little awkward. Like, you kind of want to play it as a 3-drop if you can. Oh, that's not good. That pretty much shuts down the cutter. I don't have any way to deal with that. So, I guess we just get cards. It's cool to see High Noon kind of back in rotation here. We've got to go for it. It's not going to work, but yeah. I'm just going to stick the Steel Cutter now, because we might into the Floodmaw High Noon and double spell. Now I want to set this up. I don't think Spell Pierce would be good enough. So Floodmaw is good here because we can attempt to bounce this and get in maximum damage. So I assume it dies. Yeah. And then I actually want to buy back into the Flood Maw, I think. Could be Ren's Resolve. No, let's get Flood Maw. There goes everything. So we kind of have this infinite loop here. High noon battle. Nice, okay. It's just so counterintuitive for him to catch up too, though. Because like if he plays the lockdown, we don't really care. He actually doesn't even have red to sacrifice this. We can attempt to bounce this now. Yeah. Yeah, because now he'll play lockdown. Here's the slick shot. I'm not going to get in for one. I want to expose it. So he's probably looking for a counter spell here. We're going to go for this. This might be good enough. He blinked first. Yeah, he messed up. You should have just taken the 1. We'll take it. That was not the best example, but a win's a win. Alright, 1-0. Let's go to game 2. Alright, game 2 on the draw. Great opener here. Rotting Mako. This smells like Oculus. Could plot the slick shot. Try to set up a big turn. But I think this is good enough. His Mako will get pretty big. Alright, don't want to die to removal. I think we just do this. Go to 1. Do I care if this dies? I guess that's probably correct. Helping Hand. He can get an NT untapped. Yeah. Ooh, not the untapped land we needed. Yeah, I think we're 1 short. Two, 4, 6, 8, 9. Can't even force lethal. Swing, this will get trample. Yeah, he's got it. We'll be alright though. I think this is a matchup we want the torches. Oh, maybe the flood. I don't think this is a spell pierce matchup. Let's go torch. Maw. Alright, try that. I assume this is Oculus, but we didn't really see it, so I don't know. Let's just get this on. Third land would be incredible. Very good. I'm gonna rip both of these. Okay. Turn 3, we got our opponent to 5. Whoa, that was a weird animation to harmonize. Oof. I think we stock up and we just find an island double spell win. Yeah, this should be good enough. There we go. I still don't know if he has Oculus. This is the Oculus deck. We should probably be running the vacuums because of that. Let's trim an opt, trim a Floodmaw, trim a burst. No, we can get rid of that torch. I mean, he's clearly running the Oculus stuff with the helping hand. Not a lot of interaction here, but we'll keep. Make go on one. Another FOMO. I think we risk it here. Oh, that's bad. Yeah, we don't want him gaining life, but... But we can bounce the Mako, get our guy back. We would have to pay the 3 though. We would lose our slick shot. I think that's okay. I don't think we can die here. I mean, you could get double combat here. Okay, no. Ooh, that was good. Alright, time for the steel cutter. Oh, it doesn't give haste, so that was useless. That's 9 exact. Woohoo! That's what's up. Exact lethal. Love to see it. Steel cutter just makes up for bad play, man. Hard to go wrong when you get that thing out there. Alright, one more here. On the play. Looks good. I see steel cutter, I keep. Yeah, I think it's the right shell for this because we don't have to mulligan often. So that usually feels pretty good. Yeah. We'll take a slick shot. This lines up nicely to plot and then hopefully do big damage on turn 3. This looks like domain, which is actually a pretty good matchup for us. They're messing around with tap lands, trying to set up the Overlord and Xur and all that, and we just go to work. Should probably just get in now, but kind of want to get greedy. I think I'm gonna get greedy. We'll see. I might spell pierce. No, I won't. Alright, let's do our thing here. Chunk them down to 5, hold up spell pierce for this board wipe, hopefully. Some people forget to play their land first to play around it. Yeah, just like that. And we win. Yikes. Alright, we'd love to see that. So now we take out the burst. Another pierce. Probably want to dive down. Lynxes are pretty good in this matchup too if it gets grindy. Maybe we don't need dive down. We just trim and opt. Yeah, the bursts really don't do much. Why don't we play negates? Yeah, I think that's right. Do we want the Flood Maw? Probably. I think one's okay. Gives us an option to move one of the big blockers out of the way. Yeah, I think Standard's too fast nowadays. It's hard to get domain set up. Hand looks decent. Opponent probably goes tap land. And we just get an otter out there. Yeah, I'm really impressed with Ren's Resolve. It's basically draw 2 1-mana spells and play them. in twice. Alright, fine. Go Swift Spear first so that we can get the prowess trigger. That'll catch him up for sure. Would love to hit a Steel Cutter. Oh. That ruins all our fun. Authority of the consoles. So now we got to get bodies on the board here. I'm gonna hold up Spell Pierce though. Say go. I'll take a land if we get it. Oh, second Spell Pierce. Kind of want that. I'm expecting a Get Lost or a Ride's End. Nothing. Alright. Alright. Spell Pierce. It's so good. You got them on the back foot. They have to cast their board wipe. And you just hold up Spell Pierce for 1 mana. That was the quickest, I think, rank tier 3 to 2. We're pushing Mythic. I'm going for the double Mythic this month. But alright, that's a little snack, a little bite-sized sample of Cori prowess here. Let's enjoy one more look at the deck before I sign off on this video. Short one today. I got more standard decks I want to show you guys coming up. I have a sweet Boros Monument deck that I've been playing on the side here too. That's probably going to be my next video, but one more look at the deck. Cori-Steel Cutter. Think of it as a 3-drop, or if you plot the Slick Shot the turn before, you're just flooding the board with prowess creatures. You got the Otters in here with prowess, the Swift Spears, a lot of cantrips. Reload the hand late with Stock Up or Ren's Resolve, and then Spell Pierce. Turns out this card is really good. With how fast the set is, if you can get out and beat the pressure early, Spell Pierce can lock up games. Sideboard, work in progress. Didn't need to do a whole lot of it. I think we added the second Spell Pierce that last match and it worked out great. Negates, you know, for those domain decks, not a lot of creatures. Sideboarding is pretty easy. It's like, do they have creatures? I'm playing Torches. Do they have a lot of board wipes and non-creature spells? We're playing Spell Pierce. Pretty cool. I like this deck. I don't think it's difficult to play. You just got to be patient not to tap completely out. That way you can protect your creatures with a Spell Pierce or Dive Down. But yeah, I think there's a reason this card has shot up to $20. It's going to be sticking around. So if you don't have your play set yet in paper, get on it. I've got 2 myself. I'm going to be trying to get the last 2 this weekend at my LGS. But that's going to do it. Let me know what you think about this deck. Any other iterations, I'm all ears in the comments. I read all of them. Do me a favor, hit like and subscribe, and make sure to give this deck a try in the description as well. I'll put the deck list there. You guys are the best. I'm signing off for the night. You guys have a good one. Peace.